be showing you guys the types of learners that exist in the studying world. This can make you the difference between getting an A and a D if you identify clearly what you are, because the revision techniques that you're about to see are quite different from each other. Just a reminder, or something I'd like to address, I just hit 100 subscribers like 2 weeks ago, and I'm very thankful for it, so thank you guys so much for that. Anyways, let's get started with the actual video. So number 1, we have visual learners. These are learners that relate the pictures or diagrams to the actual text or data. This is my old science book, and I think I got pretty good grades because I identified myself as a visual learner, which helped me to draw like diagrams on the side of the page. And if you didn't already notice, I am a visual learner, and that's the learner that I'm mostly part of, I guess. If you identify yourself as a visual learner, what you would do is you would draw like diagrams and data diagrams, I guess, on the side of the page, or even just maximized as like half of the page, and it would help you to portray the information that you're learning onto the page so you can clearly see it. So here I'm drawing a graph, which can be for science or maths, and now I can see the relationship between where it started or how it ended. You can also draw a table, which is kind of helpful for math, science, and literally any other subject. Or you could draw diagrams that are not data related. You can just draw like an image of what's going on, I guess. I've said this a few times before, I think, I don't know, but basically you don't need to be good at drawing to succeed in this type of learning style. Like, look at my volcano, it literally looks like a mountain that's about to explode. But I also think that for some subjects like biology, it's very important you draw the diagrams regardless of whether you're a visual learner or not, because there's a lot of body parts or organs that you have to label, and they appear in my exams, so they might appear in yours. You can also add that little bit of color to make it look kind of realistic, but remember, don't spend too much time doing this part, because otherwise you're not going to get a lot of things done. It's always good to add color though, because it adds like that little brightness onto your page and makes your page look a little bit more colorful, I guess. Next, we have the auditory learners, and these are the learners that learn best with sound, not just speaking it or listening it, but also just interacting with the entire sound element. Yeah. Before we get started with this section, I'd like you to grab your earphones, headphones, or whatever listening device you have, even the AirPods. And yeah, because if you are an auditory learner, they will help you a lot. Basically, if you are allowed to record your lessons or lectures, I highly recommend you do so, because it will help you when you like come back and you have to recap what you did because you've probably forgotten it. I also recommend you listen to podcasts or audiobooks, and that will just help you with everything really. Yeah. When you're revising, you can also say things out loud, and this will help you tons because your brain will memorize whatever you say out loud. And if you repeatedly say it, it will definitely be stuck in your brain, at least until your exam comes. It will just help you, trust me. You can also listen to some music while you study, but I guess that's okay for everyone and not just auditory learners. Next up, we have the reading and writing learners, and what these learners do best is already in the title of this section, which is the reading and writing section. So they like to do essays often and read. Literally just read for fun. And yeah, basically. So if you identify as one of these learners, I recommend just go to the library and get as many books that literally talk to you or like interest you in any sort of way. Also, when you're revising, you can make up essay questions for yourself and test yourself out through that way. You can also make up an extract and then do comprehension style questions, but there are many online, so you can just practice by doing those. Also, rather than writing in bullet points, you would like to use paragraphs if you are this type of learner. So write in big bulks of writing, because this is something that the reading and writing learners do best, and they can also read it easier, I guess, rather than in bullet points, although the bullet points system is perfect for me since I am a visual learner. Something that I also like to add, if you are a reading and writing learner, then get yourself a text and try and annotate it yourself. This is a great revision practice because in the exam you'll be asked to do some question on an extract or something like that, and when you have to, you can use one of the annotated pieces of information to help you. Also, if you are a reading or writing learner, I recommend that you do not type and use your own pen and your own hand to write, like handwrite. So yeah, if you find it easier to type, then obviously you can go ahead because I'm not stopping you, but it's better to handwrite because most exams are handwritten. I mean, this year was an exception because of all the pandemic stuff, but most exams are usually and traditionally handwritten. Finally, we have the kinesthetic learners, and these learners do best at what they're doing. Let me explain because it's kind of confusing. But basically, if you identify as one of these learners, what you do is you learn by observing or doing experimental things that you are curious about. So, for example, if there was a test on modeling or something like that, you would prefer to do like modeling clay rather than the actual test. This is especially good if you are taking science related subjects, as there are lots of experiments throughout the year, especially like where I live. I do think that there isn't a lot of access to liquids and stuff that you need for the proper science experiments, but you can still try and do simpler ones anyways for your own curiosity. Another tip that is just for everyday your lifestyle is basically just try and get involved as many sports as you can, as it helps your brain to engage with like information when you do outdoor activities. I think, I'm not sure about that fact, but I did hear it somewhere. Try and get involved in clubs and stuff as well, and when you are curious about something, honestly just watch videos online. YouTube exists and you can Google anything up, and what you do is, you can just Google this and this experiment, and then you can observe it and find out what happens. Obviously you can watch a few videos if you are complaining about the validity of the video. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!